I'd just gotten a new job in the city. Rent was expensive everywhere, but I found this old apartment building called Silver Heights. The manager was an old man named Mr. Verma, soft-spoken, but with a strange warning before I moved in. He said, "The lift sometimes acts strange at night. If it stops anywhere between floors, don't look outside." I laughed, thinking it was just old machinery, but the look in his eyes, it wasn't a joke. That night, I moved into my new flat, 13th floor, room 1304. The hallway smelled like damp concrete, and the lift, it groaned like something alive every time it moved. It was past midnight when I decided to grab something to eat from the shop below. When I pressed the call button, the lift took forever. Then finally, the doors opened slowly with a loud screech. Inside, I noticed something strange. The mirror was cracked, and on it, someone had carved words with a sharp object. "Never press 1." I pressed the G button and started descending. Halfway down, the lights flickered. The lift stopped at the 4th floor, even though no one had pressed it. The doors slid open, revealing nothing but a dark, silent corridor. As I reached to close them, a hand suddenly slid through the gap, pale, shaking. Shh. A man enters, barefoot, wearing a torn hospital gown. A man stepped inside. He was barefoot, wearing a hospital gown. He didn't answer. He just lifted his finger and pressed a button that shouldn't exist. The light for -1 glowed red. I froze. There wasn't supposed to be a -1. There was only a basement. Before I could react, the lift shuddered violently and began descending below the basement. The air grew colder. My ears popped as if we were going deep underground. Floor display started showing strange numbers. -2, -4, -7. Each time it beeped, the man beside me hummed softly an eerie tune. It was the same melody my grandmother used to hum before bed. Then, the lights cut out completely. The only light came from the digital floor display, which flickered between numbers and symbols. I could barely breathe. Finally, it stopped. The doors opened. Outside was a dark hallway, lit only by one swinging light bulb. The walls were covered in old Against my better judgment, I stepped out. The floor was damp, cold. I could hear faint crying, like a child somewhere far away. As I walked, I saw faded signs. Ward 12, ICU. It wasn't an apartment basement. It was an old, abandoned hospital floor. I followed the crying to a half-open door. Lift doors reopen by themselves. Red emergency lights flashing, the display now only showed -1. Glowing like a heartbeat, I screamed and smashed the glass. But behind it, only something's wrong. There wasn't the 13th floor corridor, but subtly off. Distorted perspective, silent atmosphere, narration. The doors open to what looks like my floor. Everything looked normal, until I saw the number plate outside my flat, 1304, hanging upside down, and froze. There was someone sitting on my couch, watching TV. It was me. Same clothes, same bruises, same terrified face. The other me turned slowly, smiled, and whispered, "You came back too soon." Then everything went black. Morning daylight. New tenant moving into the building. Same lift opens with faint humming sound. The next morning, the police found my apartment empty. They said the CCTV footage showed me entering the lift at 12:37 a.m., but never coming out. 2 weeks later, a new tenant moved into Silver Heights. He told the manager that the lift sometimes goes below the basement, showing -1. Mr. Verma told him it's just a glitch. But the new tenant swore that sometimes when the doors open, he can see a man inside wearing his clothes. And every night, at exactly 3:13 a.m., the lift bell rings.